Hey guys, I want to talk to you guys about being a medium and channeling a narcissist or an authoritative figure versus uh, channeling pure spirit. We've been talking about them a lot lately. I've been working with some clients that are having problems in this area, or not problems, but are experiencing things in this area. And I know that I've shared on here that my mom passed away almost 4 years ago, and it'll be 4 years in April. And she was very much of an authoritative figure for me. So I think a lot of people, especially if you are a medium and you are communicating with your personal authoritative figure, your personal someone that you really sought love for. So this video is for you, but also I will explain a little bit more about mediumship when we as mediums will channel your past loved one that maybe was a narc or maybe was an authoritative figure. This is a two-way street here. A lot of times, you know how when there's a joke out there saying, you know, if you're psychic, then why don't you give me the lottery numbers, right? It like doesn't necessarily work that way. So I love teaching psychic and mediumship development because learning psychic and mediumship development is like the fastest way that you're going to learn your self-development, the fastest way you're going to shift your reality, your relationships, all the things, including with yourself. So this is why I'm so passionate about it. And when we get deep into this development of mediumship, and we start channeling spirits of our own, we start channeling, say, for example, like I was saying at the beginning of this, my mother. Are you allowing your inner child? Are you allowing that people pleaser? Are you allowing judgment to come onto you from that authoritative figure still, even after they are in spirit? So what I was explaining to some of my clients and what I wanted to share with you guys is that when your past loved one dies, right, and if they were an authoritative figure, you already know, right? We always make this joke about, oh my God, they will roll over in their grave if they only knew I was doing what, thinking what, planning what, right? So you know in your mind, because you've been around this person for so long, and we're talking about neural pathways, right? And trauma. So you know what that person would say if they were still alive. And this is where the confusion comes in for these people that are developing mediumship when their narc or their authoritative figure is in spirit, because they go back to this place of feeling small, back to this place of feeling judged. They go back to this place of not feeling enough love from this person. It all comes down to love, right? So still people will take actions or not when they're alive based on what their dead person would think or would judge them. So one of my clients in particular is an amazing medium, and she could hear the voices of spirit. And what's happening is she's getting bullied by a voice that she believes to be that narc, and it is talking so much shit to her. We already talked about if it's an attachment. We went through all of that. What it comes down to is this particular person knows, and I love to put myself in this situation because I too explain, if I took actions and my mother was still alive, I know she would judge me based on the actions or the decisions that I'm making, based on who she was when she was alive. So I could still come from this small place and not take action on what it is that I want to do. Or we get to do the self-development work and be like, I am perfectly okay with who I am right now in this moment, whether I have a bad habit that my authoritative figure would, you know, be angry with me, whether I'm making decisions that authoritative figure absolutely would not, or am I going to allow this invisible judgment to come onto me and for me to make adjustments in my behavior? This is now when we could shift completely gears here. This is how you attract toxic relationships in your living life. So if we or you are still allowing this authoritative figure, the voice in your head that's not necessarily really true, right? Or how they used to judge you in the past, then how are you acting right now in the future in your current relationships? Are you still trapped in people pleasing? Are you still trapped in that, the soft empath versus the harsh narcissist? Are you still stuck there? Or are you going to be okay with who you are and the decisions that you're making right now based on your own decision, adulting yourself? We call this adulting ourselves, especially when that authoritative figure is, maybe our parents, or maybe it's a long-term, relationship that passed away that was very judgmental. You need to get to this place where you're so okay with who you are. You're human. You came down here to play in this human realm, and you're going to fuck up. You're going to make decisions that maybe will come back around, and maybe you got to make adjustment. But this is the whole reason why you came, is to experience being a human, is to make yourself make the decisions based on what it is that you want. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about, say I'm a medium, right? And say you come to me and you want a reading from your mother that used to judge the shit out of you when you were, younger, and that person was alive, or your father, or whoever you guys are thinking in your mind. If you're like coming to the medium can feel their personality, right? I could say, oh my God, your mom was a ball of fucking fire. Like she was a whippersnapper. Like she was really big into, like, I don't know, whatever her mom was. But when it comes down to that judgment, it is so different, you guys, in the mediumship realm, because that's when the medium is speaking to your loved one, right? Like I said, you came to me as a client, is going to be able to clarify some other things. Like this person was always proud of you. When we're a medium and we're reading for somebody else, our emotions don't necessarily get involved as if it was you being the medium reading for yourself. Because we get to say to you, this person has always been proud of you, but guess what? Because I'm tapped into this dead person's energy, I can feel that they're telling me that they just never had the words to tell you, that they just didn't have the capacity to share their love with you the way you wanted them to. Before my mom passed away, we kind of got a little bit back together, and we both agreed that both of us wanted the other person to love each other a certain way, but neither one of us could ever love that person the way they wanted to receive it. I hope you guys love my little hand puppets that I'm doing here, but it's so true. So me as a medium, if I'm reading for your dead person, I'm going to feel that they were freaking spunky as hell. I'm going to say, boy, she was hard in the chest. That's how it works for me. Like she was hard in the chest. A lot of people couldn't really get through to her in a loving way. But you know what? That was the way she was supposed to grow in her human experience. But now that she's in the spirit realm, she wants to let you know she didn't have the right words to say. She didn't have the capacity to love you the way you felt like you needed to be loved. So when you're communicating with true spirit, you could feel the personality of that ego that used to exist, right? And through this time and space that's not really existing. You could tap into that little essence of that person's soul. And you could feel who they used to be, but you can also tap in and you could feel the pure love and light. So I hope this really helps you guys like understand, come to realize there's different ways for you to interpret. If you're a medium and you're reading one of your authoritative people, you already know in your brain what they would say because you've been around them, because they told you not to do certain shit, because you got in trouble, because they shamed you. You already know that part of the person. But what you're not connecting with is the pure essence of spirit, of that person's spirit now that they're on the other side, where they've come back to the oneness. So if you are getting confused, then go to another medium and have another medium read for you. That way you're getting the full message. Yes, she was spunky, but man, she freaking loves you, and she's standing behind you, and she's hoping for you to, hear the better voices and for you to receive her guidance. So I'm sending you guys all love. Again, if you guys want to learn how to develop into this, then you're going to want to take the Awaken program. It's on my website, brandaline.com/Awaken Evergreen. It's on the link inside the comments here, or come join us in our spiritual awakening community, your spiritual awakening community on Facebook, or follow me on Instagram. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.